Hey my dears, today I want to show you two easy methods to curl your hair without heat. Indeed, those two are more or less the same. The only difference is the tool you use for the curls. I tried one method on a friend of mine, the one with the blonde hair, Sabrina, and the other one on myself. On myself I'm using those flexible, big and bendy foam rollers you can see here, while I was using just a regular paper towel on my friend Sabrina, but I will show you this in the end. First we start with those foam things. I'm starting with dry hair, because if I would roll my hair up wet, there's no chance it dries. But I'm using a spray bottle like this to wet my hair, because otherwise I would be left with no curls at all in the end. And, to be honest, from the beginning I had to take 2 tries for this. The first time I did not use enough water and the curls were not good in the end. So don't get confused, it might happen that I switch my shirt in between. To get started, I'm preparing the rollers, the spray bottle and clips like you can see here, because they can hold up a lot of hair. I'm owning 24 of those jumbo hair curlers, and because I want to use all of them to get all my hair on it, I'm making 24 equal parts. So I'm starting by dividing my hair into 2 parts and repeating this for 3 times all over. And this last piece is going to be separated in 3. This makes 24 overall. Of course, you could also start by just taking a small strand of hair and rolling it up, and taking another strand and so on. But for me, indeed, I think I would need some more than those 24 I have, and this is why I just try to make all the strands really evenly. I'm clipping away all of the hair that's not needed right now and start by wetting the first strand of hair. As already mentioned, this is kind of the hardest part for me, because if I take too much water, my hair won't dry, and I will be left with only wet hair and no curls. And on the other hand, if it's too dry, there will be no curls either. Once I sprayed the strand, I'm taking this roller and begin to wrap my hair around it, starting from my tips. This will be much easier if your hair is shorter than mine. As you can see, my arms are almost too short for my hair, but it could be your hair is longer than mine. Then you can wrap it around a door handle or something like this to reach the tips. Now I will repeat this step for 24 times. First thing to do is always to spray your hair with water. You can skip this if you start with wet hair, for example after washing it. This can work if your hair is shorter or thinner than mine, or you have more rollers. I smooth the strand out and bring the roller down to the tip of my hair. I wrap my tips around once, and after this try to fix it in place with the next round of hair I'm wrapping around. From there on, I'm wrapping and wrapping and wrapping all the way up. Once the strand is short enough, I try to switch the direction behind my head to avoid loops while wrapping it up. I go on and on and on until I reach my scalp, and now I only have to bend the roller to keep everything in place. And as it has a wire inside, it will just stay in this shape. Now there's only 1 strand left before my first section is done. Let's spray this and have a closer look at the beginning of the wrapping. As already mentioned, wrap the hair around once, and then fix it in place with your finger, for example. For the next round you will need to wrap the remaining hair directly above the first round. When doing so, due to the rough surface of the roller, this is enough to keep everything in place. As before, switch the direction as soon as you can. But indeed, I'm usually not rolling my hair beside my body like I did right before to show you everything, but I'm just doing it right in front of me like here. When I first tried those rollers, my hair was over 20 centimeters longer, so you can see, even then you can manage it. Yeah, my hair was longer but my arms weren't, so I started off by wrapping the tips around for several times, not just once, before bringing the roller towards my face. But be aware, if doing so, it will be much harder to get your hair off the roller in the end. It would also be possible to only curl your tips with this method, but I'm always rolling it all the way up to my head, so I can sleep on it afterwards. Next you can see how I'm using my finger while rolling to gather all the shorter hair and include it into the main strand. You could also use this technique if you're having layers or something like this. Just follow the video, I think you'll get what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure you already understood how it's working, so I'm ready to let down the next strand of my hair and go on. By the way, if one strand feels too loose, just open the roller and add some more twist to it, then close it again. Oh man, I love how fluffy those things are. I can't stop squeezing them when they're in my hair. But anyway, I have to go on, and indeed, the fun really begins in the end when your head is full of those things. From here on, I'm just starting a time-lapse to speed things up, because this really takes some time. I use this to show you how I wrap my hair up in different angles and directions, just to give you an idea of what you could do. Woohoo! I'm finished! In the end, I'm just going to spray all of the hair with some more water, because all that's on the outside will of course dry perfectly. Now we're finished! But wait, what about the paper towel thing I told you? We'll get right to it. Take one of those things and roll it up. To make it as long as possible, I'm rolling it from the edge. When using this method, you should be extra carefully with the amount of water, because those things can get wet too, and then they tear apart very easily. Now take your self-made curler and roll your hair up from the tips, like we did with the foam rollers. Your curls will get a little bit tighter than the ones I did before, because the paper roll is of course smaller than the foam thing. To secure this curl, just tie a knot with your paper towel, but pay attention not to rip it. The good thing about those paper curlers is, if you destroy one, just take a new one. For each curl or strand of hair, you need a new towel. And by the way, did you know you could also do this with aluminum foil? Just cut in small pieces and roll up like we did with the towel. Usually I'm doing this before going to bed. This way my hair has as much time to dry as possible. But if I would just sleep on it like this, it would be a complete mess in the morning. So I'm using a scarf or any kind of fabric I have handy to cover it. Even better would be something made out of silk, like my sleeping cap I'm wearing here. Of course, it's kind of strange to sleep on something like this, but indeed the jumbo curlers are rather comfortable. We go on. The next morning, 8 hours later, you can see the sleeping cap really helped, so it did not get too messy. To see the final result, I'm just removing one curler after the other, starting with the ones at the bottom, close to my neck. With this first curl, you can already see what happened. My tips are really curly, but the top half isn't. Because of this, I can easily say that the top half was too dry. I did not spray it well enough. But I know this will get better every time I try it. And anyway, I will show you how we can make something beautiful out of this too. Please continue to remove the curlers carefully. Do not pull on your hair or anything like that. If your curls stay in really well, you can also separate one curl into 2 or 3. This will make it look even better. And by the way, I'm not using hairspray or anything like that, which would help the curls stay in better, because I want to make it as hair friendly as possible. But if you want to use hairspray, just do. For example, you could collect the curls, so roll it up and hold it in one hand, and then add some hairspray to this package. So I'm going on and on and on, like 24 times, removing those rollers. Indeed, usually I would not describe myself as a patient person, but when it comes to hair stuff, like doing a hairstyle or those curls like here, I'm not sure where it comes from, but I'm so patient. I do go on for hours and hours without getting annoyed. But honestly, it's much easier if your hair is shorter or thinner. I don't know how many times I said this before, but you will see it works even better when I show you the result of my friend Sabrina in the end. But I just love this feeling when my hair is bouncing at the back of my head. I have one more method which makes even bouncier curls, and if I find some time in the future I will show it to you and do another tutorial. If you don't want to miss this, I would love you to be a subscriber. On the right you can see the result with finer hair and the paper towel method. My hair is not very keen on curls, so they won't stay in very well, but if you want to try, you can also brush your curls carefully. We did this and it looks so soft and beautiful, so give it a try. I also love to add a little half up to my curls, so take a strand from the right, one from the left, twist them inwards and combine them in the middle, like for example I did here with a flexi. All I have left to say now is enjoy your curls. Jump around, grab them, or wear beautiful dresses along with them. And if your result is somehow like mine, you can easily convert your curls into a big and beautiful braid with a curly tassel. You can do this by braiding and pancaking your braid, which is much easier if your hair is structured, and putting in the hair tie higher as you normally would. Oops, super long video. But have fun and I hope to see you next time. Bye!